9日是个很特别的日子，据传9月11号，金正恩在4年以来第一次将出访俄罗斯，而美国最担心的就是朝鲜将武器卖给俄罗斯，因为他们现在希望俄罗斯的弹药不足。如果朝鲜可以把他的武器再提供给俄罗斯的话，那俄罗斯在俄乌战争里头就更有足够的弹药。美国同时自己也担心乌克兰的弹药不足，也要求澳洲方面生产。而美国虽然讲了非常多的话，说朝鲜你不可以，朝鲜不可以，美国的媒体直接的写普丁和金正恩即将到来的会晤，针对美国制裁，其实呈现出了局限性，华府几乎没有手段可以阻止军火交易，这是《纽约时报》跟 Bloomberg 几乎共同的看法。
俄乌战争不仅催化了北约组织扩张重生，也促使敌方阵营的关系更加紧密。4年多来都未踏出国门的北韩领导人金正恩，据报最快在9月10号这一周出访俄罗斯，展现这两个被西方孤立的政权仍是彼此强大的后盾。
A major meeting between two countries could spell trouble for the entire world. New reports that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un could potentially travel to Russia this month to meet with President Vladimir Putin. Right now, there are reports North Korea has been in talks with Moscow to supply Russia with more weapons for its war against Ukraine. Now, the two leaders last met in April of 2019. This meeting would be Kim's first with a foreign leader since North Korea closed its borders back in January of 2020.
He's expected to visit Russia's far eastern port city of Vladivostok by armoured train. It's likely to take almost a full day to travel over 600 miles across the border.
面对共同敌人美国和北约盟友的制裁和排挤，普丁和金正恩相互取暖，各取所需。纽约时报报道指，金正恩这趟访俄行将和普丁讨论北韩出售武器给俄罗斯，换取莫斯科提供制造卫星和核动力潜舰的技术给平壤，同时也寻求莫斯科的粮食援助。
Relations with Russia haven't always been as warm as they were during the height of the Soviet Union. But the country is now reaping clear benefits from Moscow's need for friends. The war in Ukraine has likely strengthened recent ties between Russia and North Korea too. As Russia's isolation over the war has grown, analysts say it has seen increasing value in North Korea.
EU officials estimate that Russia has fired around 50,000 artillery shells per day since invading Ukraine. International sanctions have limited Moscow's options to replenish its supplies, and so it appears to have turned to North Korea. Pyongyang holds significant quantities of ammunition, though analysts are unsure about the quality of its stockpiles. But North Korea can also offer raw materials, particularly iron ore, which Russia can use to ramp up its own production of shells.
It's remarkable that personally I would expect that Kim Jong-un's first trip after the COVID isolation period, which lasted for 3 years, would be to China. However, it's to Russia. Kim Jong-un will try to get some kind of economic assistance, politically motivated economic assistance from Russia. Maybe he will get some promises, but I don't think he will get much of real stuff because for Russia, it's a rather marginal concern. Without Ukraine war, Russia would not care about North Korea.
In the immediate term, food is a top priority for Pyongyang. Years of COVID lockdowns and strangling sanctions have left many North Koreans on the brink of famine. South Korea suspects Russia has offered to hold joint naval drills with China and North Korea, a mirror to the annual exercises held between South Korea and the United States. But many also fear Russia may offer advanced technologies that could be used to further Pyongyang's nuclear program, a prospect that would violate over a dozen UN sanctions.
You know, North Korea has always prided themselves on the way forward without relying on anyone, whether the Soviet Union or China, or Russia, since that's happened too. And now then they seem to be moving back into directions where they see mutual benefit with Russia. Russia, on the other hand, definitely sees some benefit because as many reports have been coming out recently, they even though they've ramped up their production of artillery shells, they don't have enough to do what they think they need to. So they are looking for help from North Korea, just like, ironically, we're looking to South Korea to help the Ukraine side. But if they actually get together and start to form a more active relationship, that ultimately is probably not going to be good for the United States to have two of our adversaries working closer together when that's already happening with Russia and China, and Russia and Iran. Right. So this is just kind of moving all those together, which is probably not good for America.
美联社报道还指，莫斯科和北韩还考虑首度举行联合军演，这两国加深军事合作，将让美国和南韩更加担忧。白宫先前多次公开北韩和俄罗斯之间的武器交易情报。纽约时报指出，白宫公开情报是为警告北韩提供武器给俄罗斯，北韩的处境将更艰困。
Over time, we have not seen them actively supply large amounts of munitions or other military capacity to Russia for the war in Ukraine. I cannot predict to you what will happen at the end of this. I can only say that the discussions have been actively advancing.
The vast majority of North Korea's trade goes through China, but experts say Russia is a potentially important partner as well. Last year, Russia and North Korea restarted train travel for the first time since railway journeys were cut during the global health crisis. United Nations data also shows that Russia resumed oil exports to North Korea, the first such shipments reported since 2020. Moscow denies breaking UN sanctions, but Russian tankers have been accused of helping evade caps on exporting oil to North Korea.
俄罗斯一边积极寻求武器供应来源，另一边展示军事实力。可携带核弹头的萨尔马特飞弹已完成部署，就战备位置。
The missile is boasting a range of 18,000 kilometers. That's the range that this missile claims. It has great capability to penetrate anti-missile defense systems with its unmatched precision and ability to potentially strike multiple targets. The Soundwave can also carry 15 nuclear warheads concurrently. It can significantly enhance the combat capabilities of Russia.
俄军还扩充远距攻击机队的规模，以多次用来攻击乌克兰的匕首高超音速飞弹，现传出成功装备到苏34战斗轰炸机上，完成首波轰炸任务。以往俄军使用米格31战斗机发射匕首高超音速飞弹，现在新增苏34轰炸机后，还可将米格31战机调度回来执行原本的拦截任务。
Su-34 fighter bomber is a two-seat multifunctional aircraft. It is designed for all weather and round-the-clock engagement of ground and surface targets, including strongly fortified targets at considerable distances from home airfields. It also destroys air targets in intense enemy counter-fire and electronic countermeasure environment.
俄乌战争已成美俄为首的两大联盟对抗，俄罗斯寻求北韩提供弹药，显示莫斯科的弹药库存已不足。正如美国寻求盟友增加武器生产支援乌克兰，俄乌战争强化了北约，也形塑了反美阵线。他们告诉全世界，他们有能力对抗西方的打压，迎战西方的威吓。全球秩序不是美国单极主义说了算。